4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
The Geek Week in Review.
Hello and welcome back to the Geek Week in Review with me, Jacob's Toys. Of course, the wonderful one and only SuperSorrell is that way. I'm pointing in the wrong direction. We are missing Ryan Speaks Geek tonight, but that's because he is off doing other things. So, Ryan, we miss you. See you very soon. If you are watching, please do check out geekweekinreview.co.uk, and all the socials and handles and all the kind of stuff that you would follow on social media is over there. So do give us a bit of love. You probably tell that this show this week is a little bit different. And we recorded it. We're not live this week. This was pre-recorded ahead of Sunday. Reason being is that I think we've been quite good with the lead up to Christmas, and we've managed to kind of maintain the live shows, but this particular Sunday we just couldn't make it work. So we thought we're not going to skip. We're going to pre-record it, put it out on Sunday, so that we're still kind of filling that slot. So yeah.
But your treat for the week is me telling future me, hey future me, down in the comments, say hi to everyone. Make sure you answer everyone's comments and answer like it's a live show. Please pretend that you're not on screen at the same time.
That is some proper meta stuff there. So we've got past Sorrel speaking to
future Sorrel
in the comments. Like, don't argue with each other, all right, or yourself. It's fine. Don't comment and argue with something you've said. But at least if you say something wrong while we're filming, you can actually correct yourself.
Live. Yeah, boy.
So yeah, but we do appreciate everyone that does tune in. And if you are watching I was going to say if you're watching the recording, but everyone's going to be watching the recording. So here we are. So we're gonna digest the week so far with the toy news. There's quite a lot of toy news going on. Last week's show, me, Ryan, discussed all of the trailers and stuff. So we might touch on a little bit of that to see what your opinion on certain things were, Sorrel. And we did a weird kind of crossover with like TikTok as well. I had plastic snaps like Simon on TikTok at the same time. It was a bit crazy, but it was fun. It was fun. So I think let's kick it off with the biggest toy news of the week, or the most predominant, which was the Marvel live stream. We had excuse me, it feels like it's been quite a while since we've had one, to be fair. But yeah, the Marvel team over at Hasbro went out and did a live stream and revealed a whole bunch of new figures. Did you catch the live stream as it was happening? So
yes, I watched the whole thing live. Enjoyed it. It was good. Very, very X-Men heavy orientated this time. Well, in fact, the whole thing really, wasn't it?
Massively, yeah. No, with the exception of Spider-Man. There was one Spider-Man, wasn't there?
One Spider-Man, yeah.
I have to do a quick call back to last week's show because we had Simon on TikTok, like I said, and we all kind of put our predictions in as to what was going to happen. And I'm pretty sure that Simon said, I've lost him. Sorrel has gone. I've gone rogue. He's dropped out. He'll be back. But Simon did say that he predicted there was going to be Spider-Man. Hello, you're back. Simon predicted there was going to be a Spider-Man reveal, and there was. And I predicted pretty much the 2 box sets and the deluxe figure as well. Didn't see the wave coming though. Didn't see that as a reveal.
No, you don't get many waves nowadays. I was saying that to you this week when we're talking and stuff offline. You don't see many waves anymore with a Bath figure included. It's like something that's kind of like moving away from.
It feels like
it was
that.
Nice to see it.
Yeah, it does feel like that. I mean, I did bring it up with Dan when we were at MTM, and he said that we're still going to see a healthy amount of builder figures. But we've been saying for quite some time now that there's a lot more store releases, deluxe figures, single card releases, obviously things like the retro waves as well. So we are getting less builder figures, or it definitely feels like we're getting less builder figures.
The 3-packs are a great way of getting out a team very quickly, like in this stream where we managed to get most of the X-Men in the blue and yellow. We got we got the entire team out in like three box sets.
Yeah. So that's
great.
Yeah, that is the entire setup. So we obviously got Wolverine in the recent retro.
We did.
Box. Where is he? I've got him somewhere. There he is. I know that he's not high enough. Look, I wonder if I can raise him up. Let me see if I can put. There you go. There he is. He's just on screen. But yeah, we got him. But yeah, so on the cover, that's issue 275 of X-Men, of Uncanny X-Men, and on the cover you have all 7. So we have the 7 of them now. There is one other character on there, but we won't discuss him just now. But the 7 in the yellow and blue, excuse me, the kind of iconic. They call it the Jim Lee look because obviously he penciled that particular issue. But yeah, the iconic blue and yellow. I remember the Wolverine figure from back in the day, like in the 90s, that was in the red and yellow, and that was kind of everyone's go-to Wolverine figure. And I think that's probably helps as to why so many people want this particular like kind of uniform of X-Men.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think it's the fact that they've given us the whole lot in one go, because we've, in the past, to kind of fill a team out, you would get one character like this Wolverine in one wave, and then like the next year you would get maybe 1 or 2 other characters and slowly kind of flesh that team out. Whereas in this case, this literally has just come out. Some people still don't have this wave in hand yet. And then next year we're going to get those box sets, but we've already seen what those figures look like in the flesh. So it seems really, really quickly. And I must admit, a really good design thing with these ones is the same as the Cyclops, where they've got the bands kind of fixed into the leg so they don't fall down. I don't understand why they didn't do it, like why they haven't done that sooner, because it really does make a huge difference. And
I hope they go back and revisit like Havoc and Polaris, and because they obviously all wore the yellow and blue as well, and they gave us those figures a while back, but it'd be nice to get a re-release of those with the new yellow, things that they don't fall down every 2 minutes. And
I think as well, because they've got these, because you got Wolverine and then and you got Jubilee, they're the only kind of different sized ones. You've got a couple of standard male body types there, you've got a couple of standard female body types. They could quite easily go back and revisit it. And I did sneakily say to Dan at MCM, I was like, once you've got that body made, you could essentially put it in a pack with a number of different heads, save a little bit on costs, and give us all of those characters in one go. And he's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. But yeah, so we've got what we got. The first one there, Gambit, Banshee, and Psylocke, which they all look cool. I like them. I'm loving the mullet kind of look on Banshee. Finally getting a Banshee figure as well, which is nice.
Nice touch that they're giving us the original style head with the lamb chop, so you can have whichever style of Banshee you want as well. So obviously, because we've been needing a Banshee for a long time.
What does interest me though is that they haven't found a more modern take on the wings. Like they're the same kind of wings that we've seen on the figures for years. They just don't seem to. I mean, if it's not broken, don't fix it, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of expected those to be different on this one. Gambit's a little bit of a. I think out of the 3 of them, he's the one that I'm a little bit meh out of them, because it's essentially the same figure that we've had, just with a different costume. Whereas at least the other 2 have got something different about them. Like that head sculpt on Psylocke is awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah, really, really good. And she'll look great kind of swapping over onto the other bodies as well that we've had. So that was the first box set. And these all go up for pre-order on the 8th. So by the time this show airs, they will be up for pre-order as well. There's no official price at time of recording, but the rumours are around the £80 mark. So, which I think is probably about right. They'll put it at just under £30 a figure. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they go for. We got the image of the other one.
Yeah, I'm coming. I was literally trying to find it. There it is.
I was like, hang on, am I just...
I know you were like stalling there for me. Thank you.
I was stalling, I was trying. So then here's the other ones. We've got Forge, we've got Jubilee, and we've got Storm. I don't like Forge's gun, not gonna lie. It's that old horrible kind of Nerf water pistol looking thing that we've seen with a load of figures. Jubilee is essentially the same figure that we've had, just on a different body. But Storm, we've got another variation of her head there, which is And I love those effect hands as well. We've had them with a few figures now, but I think that's a perfect kind of effect hand for Storm. But I do like the Forge figure. Don't get me wrong. The head sculpt's nice. The size is good. Yeah, I just can't wait to get him. Can't wait to get him in hand.
I'm just not sure Forge needs an upgrade anyway. I mean, his original figure is still in my display. It looked awesome.
Oh, mine too. Yeah, mine too. I mean, they've obviously gone and done something with his head, changed his head sculpt and stuff and made him a bit beefier. So it would be nice to have a different version. And if it wasn't for the costume, I don't think I'd rush out to get this Forge. If it was just a different version of Forge, I probably wouldn't run out to get it. But the fact that it's the yellow and blue makes it a kind of a must-have. How many Instagram pictures and YouTube videos we're going to see of that cover recreation, though?
Thousands.
It's just going to be so many. I'm trying to think of different pictures that I can do with them, just because we're going to get so many. But yeah, it's cool. So I was really pleased with those box sets. Which one do you want to do next?
Let's go with the one that everyone has been dying for so long. The big guy himself, the unstoppable.
You built it up there, and then the picture just wasn't ready.
The Blob.
There he is. Blob. It's been met with a bit of criticism, surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought once he showed the articulation off on that video, I thought he made it look incredibly poseable compared to the original.
It really is.
With that top piece, the way it moves around the body, I thought it looked a bit clunky to begin with, but then when he showed you that he could completely rotate that round, so he's like coming down with them and things like that, and that his head can look up while still like down there, and you can get some proper dynamic poses out of it.
Yeah, the articulation in like the chin and the neck is brilliant, and I think that's a really good design piece. They've kind of utilized the kind of double chin element of him into the articulation, which I think is really clever. But no, I think the criticism I've seen is the costume, and people can't quite pin where that costume's from, because there's different versions of costumes that are similar, but it's his kind of leotard with a yellow band. I don't care about bits on the shoulder and lines on the boots. Like, it looks like Blob. So for me, I'm really excited about this one. And that's one builder figure that I actually never completed. I've never had a completed Blob in my collection. All the figures I've got a custom. I made myself a custom, but I've never had a completed Blob in my collection. So I am really excited for this one. People reckon that the price tag on this is going to be around the £50 mark, though, which kind of makes sense. I'm not really surprised when you think of the price. You've only got to think of the price that people sell builder figures for on Facebook groups and stuff. Like, they sell those for like the £50 mark, but yet if Hasbro put out a builder figure at £50, people are complaining. Like, I'm not really.
I've seen builder figures go a lot more than 50 when they first come out. Some of them go for 70 and 80 and above.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely. But, yes, they do go down as low as sort of 25, 30, depending which one it is. But yeah, you're right. Some go for a ridiculously high amount, but for £50 for a builder figure isn't too much of a stretch. You would, if it was something you wanted, you would pay that. So I was really surprised when I saw people kind of kicking off about the price of him, because I was like, well, it's you saw the size of him on the live stream. Like, he's not small. He is a big figure. So I'm super psyched for this one. Really psyched for it. And I prefer the design to the old builder figure as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely, definitely. It looks amazing. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am as well. Like I said, it's a builder figure I never had. So out of all, I think I've pretty much had all of them. But Blob, Blob was one of the only ones. I'm trying to think now. One of the only ones I didn't complete. So he is a must-have for me. And of course, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, or Brotherhood of Mutants. You've got Pyro, you've got Avalanche, you've got Toad, you've got Magneto, you've got Mystique.
Got all of them now.
We need Blob. Like, we need to have Blob in that lineup. So yeah, so I'm really psyched for that one. Spider-Man.
Yeah, we get Spider-Man.
What did you think of that?
It's a re-release, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah,
it's on the new body. It's on the new body. Give them that. It's on the new body. But we knew they were going to make it. The new game's coming out. They've got a new Spider-Man body. They've got the old figure, which was very popular. Shove it on the new body.
Yeah,
that's a good one. And
the paint apps are a little bit different as well. Like on the older figure, he hasn't got the white all the way up the gloves.
It's probably matching the new video game, isn't it? That's probably
Yeah.
all from the new game. I would have thought.
And that was going to happen. You know, there was the new game coming out. The suit's not changed a huge amount, so we were going to have that. We've got the Miles Morales one. We're going to have a re-release of that. Let's be honest. They're going to re-release the Miles Morales one, and I think we'll probably get a Venom from the way they were talking. And they were talking about, they mentioned Miles Morales and they mentioned Venom, so I think that we're probably going to get those in the Game of Earth line. But I was pleased because this is one that a lot of people do chase after. There's a lot of counterfeits out there as well, so I'm pleased that those people that are fans of the games can now get hold of this one. And like you say, it's on that newer body, so I expect it will be pinless. It'll just be a nicer figure. So
I always like that cocoon piece as well. You know, around the shoulder cape piece that they put on him, because you can use that for like webbing up bad guys and things like that.
Yeah.
If you've got
and the face one as well.
It's always great for shots, like taking photography and stuff, I think.
Yeah. You know what? I've never used it. I've never used it in a shot or anything like that. No. I keep thinking, I'm going to have to use that next, but I always forget to. But yeah, it is good. And it's just nice to have all of that. Like, they've given us all of the accessories there in one go. So we've got the 2 web effects as well. I just want them to come up with a better version of the web line.
Yes.
Like, you would think with the fact that they have removable hands, you'd think that maybe they would have revisited that and come up with a better thing than just something to hold on to. But yeah, I'm excited.
Something more like a bendy wire, something that can actually hold its shape once you've posed it. So you can have him doing the swing motion rather than just hanging. Yep.
I've got quite a few that were made for me, made out of that like jewelry wire stuff. Have you seen those? Where they and there's a little loophole on it. So you remove the hand, you put it on, and you put the hand back on, and it literally looks like it's coming out of his lip. Like, they're brilliant, and I'm surprised that Hasbro hasn't kind of replaced their wire with something like that. But yeah, I'm still going to pick him up because, as far as I'm concerned, this is PS5 Spider-Man, whereas the other one was PS4 Spider-Man. That's how I look at it. Yeah, it is a different game. It's a different Spider-Man. It's a different look. So yeah, and I'm a sucker for Spider-Man. If you've got a Spider-Man figure, I'm probably going to pick it up. While we're loading up the next one, though, TK Maxx has had a lot of Spider-Man figures in recently. You seen those?
No, which one?
Yeah, so the Ben Reilly Spider-Man on the retro card and the Black Suit Spider-Man on the retro card have been showing up in TK Maxx's at £15, which makes me really die because so many people bought that Black Suit Spider-Man thinking he was the next big meal ticket one, and so many people bought it. The market became oversaturated to the extent where it's now in discount stores, which I think is hilarious. So Kraven the Hunter in the animated style.
Looks good.
Yeah, it looks right. I've had both Kravens actually, and which one did I actually? Yeah, so I'm lucky really because I had both, because obviously it's different versions of Kraven, but you had the one that came out years ago in the same wave as Ghost Rider and stuff.
That's what I've got.
That's the one I've still got. And then you had the one that came out in the Kraven's Last Hunt 2-pack, where he had like the slippers on and it was this look, but with like the kind of ballet slippers and stuff like that. And I just couldn't get behind it. I wasn't a big fan of it. So I moved it on and sold it or traded it. I can't remember. But this one uses the same head sculpt. So I'm really pleased now that I kept hold of the older one and moved on the newer one, because I can now get this one and put it in my collection and still have a different Kraven. Whereas I think if the only one I had in my collection was the one from that 2-pack, I'd be a little bit disappointed with this, because apart from the colouring, there's not a huge amount different. Obviously, you got boots and stuff on this one, but it's supposed to look more like the animated style. So
I just hate the stupid faces they always give Kraven.
Yeah, and that's what I like about the old one, is it's just a static look.
It was more of a static pose, wasn't it?
But it's just dated now. It's just an old looking head. But yeah, I don't get it really. I mean, I know in the comic books he kind of pulled faces like this a lot, but he did have more than one look.
It's like I don't want him on my shelf constantly going.
Yeah,
he just doesn't need to be doing that motion the whole time. No. That face.
And
but yeah,
for me as well, a lot of mine are on my shelf in a very vanilla pose. I don't kind of pose them on my shelf. I take them off and pose them for photographs and stuff. And when I've got a character like this that's got like an expressive face, it always just looks really awkward on the shelf. Like this here, it's just stood here like he's like stood on something he shouldn't, or like he's just remembered he left the iron on or something. It's just angry. But when he's posed, it works really well. So it swings and roundabouts. But they're two that I'll definitely pick up. Definitely.
This one come out of nowhere. Going back to X-Men a little bit for a quick second.
Yep. Oh, the Outback Rogue.
Bit random.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this one.
Looks random. It reminds me of. Do you remember the episode of Power Rangers where Kimberly turned into the evil Kimberly?
Yeah, it's evil Kimberly Rogue. Yeah, it
It's
is.
what I mean. It's evil Kimberly. If you put that on your Power Ranger figure, it'll look like evil Kimberly. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I am for me, I mean, like the costume's okay. I mean, it's pretty basic. It's just a recolored female buck. But for me, the Outback Rogue had like, I'm sure she had like shaved sides of her head and stuff. Like, I don't know, just when I saw it, I was kind of like, oh, right, yeah, okay. And it didn't quite match what I expected it to look like. It'd be like giving us a Savage Lands Rogue but putting her in a dress, you know. That's kind of how it felt to me. I was just like, you've not quite, you've almost done it. You've almost kind of done what you aim to do, but just missed the mark a little bit.
So yeah, Outback Rogue was very 80s inspired. She had very big hair, but it was the white strip was more like a mohawk, if I remember rightly, and then the sides were like brown but shaved down a little bit. Like the dominant part was the big white strip, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's what I mean. See, that's now you mentioned the mohawk bit, I remember it better. But for me, I just remember it being the shaved sides, like, and it was more of a mullet than it was a hair. So yeah, it disappoints me when the head sculpts are different but not accurate, if that makes sense, because this is obviously a new head sculpt. But I suppose the one thing that is good about this is because it's a standard looking head sculpt, you could essentially swap this for some of the other Rogue heads that you've got. Like that's doable.
So how long until they give us a bare-chested Colossus then?
Oh, I think he's coming. I mean, it potentially could even be the builder figure for the wave they announced as well.
Oh, speaking of the wave, let's talk about the wave. You can help me with this because you're a little bit more. You seem to know more about me than the Marvel comics. I thought I was a Marvel guy growing up, but you seem to know a little bit more. Can you please explain to me who in the loving hell this thing is? What is that?
Oh, it's Kid Omega.
From which? What?
I actually did a custom of him. He's just yeah, go read him. I don't want to go into too much detail here, but he's one of the newer kind of era of X-Men. Really powerful mutant. I love the fact that they've given him the kind of the new,
Is it from that new whole universe like Mutopia where they all go through freaking portals and stuff? Is he from that era of X-Men?
Just before that, I think.
Just before that.
Yeah, I haven't read in order. I must admit, I've not read kind of continuously in order. I jump in and out of the Krakoa stuff and that. But the thing is he's got a much better look. One that I did a custom of, and it's him kind of. He's got like a Phoenix t-shirt or like a Cyclops t-shirt. He's got like a bomber jacket, a hoodie, like denim shorts, like Dr. Martin boots. Like there is a much better look for him in the comic books. Hang on, I can't do the flashy kind of put them up on screen thing that you're doing at the moment, but give me 2 seconds and I'll show you the look I'm talking about.
Yeah, because when I was looking him up on the internet, he looks nothing like that figure.
That's the look that they've gone for.
Yeah.
That's what they've gone for because obviously it's a standard, easy one to go for. But
the glasses are a poor attempt.
Yeah, the look that I would have preferred to have seen him in. Just trying to find a decent picture. That one works, I suppose. But he's like that kind of look.
All right, cool. So that would have been much better.
Yeah. So I just think it's cool. Like the pink kind of flick of hair, the glasses, like the Dr. Martens, the shorts, like just a much better. And he wore really quirky t-shirts as well. So like that one's got a Phoenix logo on it. Let me see if I can see another one. Oh, there you go. Look, there's that one as well. It says "Bring Cyclops back." Like it was like he kind of wore like t-shirts that what you would expect to see, kind of like fans wear, sort of thing. So yeah. So when I saw him, I was kind of like, ah, you've kind of done it, but you haven't done it. Like, yeah. So yeah, he's a cool character. Very powerful, but yeah, I mean, it's an accurate costume to the comic books, but just not the one that I would have liked. It's similar to what they did with the comic book Ironheart, you know, where they kind of released her in the silver and red, and everyone was like, "Oh, we wanted the pink and black."
Yeah.
Costume. It's that kind of situation, I suppose.
So next on, who the hell is this?
Chamber.
Who?
It's his chamber. Basically, that's all like it's kinetic energy, flames sort of thing. It's not fire. It's a different type of energy that comes out of his mouth.
All I'm hoping is that all that flame and head pops off, and the hands pop off, and that Ghost Rider's that extra skeletal hands go in there, and the new Ghost Rider head goes on there, and then I've got the movie accurate version of Ghost Rider.
Yeah, man. I already did an Instagram post basically saying that head, and I've actually got it here. Look, that half and half head from Ghost Rider, that one.
Yeah.
Put that on that body, and you've got changing. I'll take it one step further. I've already been speaking to a couple of the guys that I'm friendly with that do like the 3D prints and stuff like that, and I've got myself a Nicolas Cage head on the way, because I've got a Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider going on that body, because that is Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider. Look at it.
It is.
Like, I mean, Chamber is he's a cool character, and I think I might be wrong, and if I am wrong, somebody please correct me in the comments. But I think he had a motorcycle accident and like bust his jaw or something like that, and then that brought out his mutant powers or awoke his mutant powers or something along the lines of that. I haven't read about Chamber for a while, but yeah, it's a character that a lot of people wanted him to do, but how are they going to do him justice? And I think they've nailed it. Like, they really have nailed it with this one. But I'm the same. I really hope that piece just pops off. But looking at the picture, it doesn't look like it's fixed. It looks like it's sitting on the shoulders. And I was trying to rack my brains, because the bottom half is obviously kind of suit trousers, but that looks pinless. So it's potentially a new suited body. But that would pass as jeans. The t-shirt underneath is a new sculpt, because they were talking about the kind of the 90s looking lines on the t-shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's a new jacket. I can't think of anyone that's got that jacket.
No, that jacket looks brand new to me. I can't see that anywhere.
No. I was racking my brain. I mean, we've had female leather jackets that are similar, but we've not had a male one like that.
The male ones tend to be longer.
Yeah. So there is definitely potential for that body to be used again. Like, they could use it for a number of different Ghost Rider figures, like Vengeance and stuff like that. There's so much potential in that body. I think I'm going to be picking up a few of those. I could see myself getting like 3 or 4 of them just for different characters, just because it looks awesome. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be one of them catch-22s, because I think a lot of people are going to want it. A lot of people are going to be after it because of the body.
Yeah, not for the
obviously
figure.
There'll be people that want it because of Chamber, but I want one as Chamber. But we won't know whether that head pops off until we've got it in hand. And by the time we do know, it'll probably all be sold out everywhere. So it's kind of like, do you risk it and get a couple, or yeah? But I'm definitely going to be picking up 2, without a doubt.
Yeah. The thing is, to me, it just looks like, what if Johnny Storm sneezed? That's the first thing I thought of as soon as I saw it.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
It's one of them ones that you can't stand it with your Ghost Riders, but with your X-Men it kind of fits.
Yeah.
So But I'm
Here's
just.
another-
I wish that in a way they'd made it so that the head comes out of the effect piece and you could slot other heads in, because that fire piece would look really great with a Ghost Rider head put in it, and it just looks like the, just for a photograph or something.
So next on who I know who he is, but why are we getting him again?
No, it's a different one. That's Puma that we had before. This is Fang.
There's
this
two?
is Fang. I'm sure he's called Fang.
Oh.
It's cosmic character.
All right, I saw that and thought Werewolf by Nighthead. I've literally seen figures now that if I don't like them, the whole thing, I look at them as parts now. I've known you too long. I look at them and go, I don't like the figure, but that head, that is definitely an updated head sculpt for the Wolfman.
Mate, that would look, even if you got the last figure and this figure and took the head off the last one and this head on that one,
That's the
swap
plan.
out the hands. You've got
I've managed to get a second Werewolf by Night on eBay for $2.99 plus delivery. So
no way.
Yeah, so I'm going to look at this. Hopefully, it's in good nick, and I can do a little head transplanty job on that one.
Yeah, but yeah, no,
I don't want to touch my original, because my original one's like he doesn't. All his joints are perfect on mine. I've really looked after him, so like I didn't fancy I didn't fancy hacking his head off and stuff after I brought a figure that old. So I went and grabbed one online, pretty cheap on eBay. And nice. As soon as I saw that head, I was like, that is the Werewolf by Night head.
Yeah, I'll just show you. I'm just looking him up on Google, because talking about heads, I thought something very similar, because so that that's essentially what they're trying to go for. Yeah, so that kind of look, but that's more of a modern look to him. So that's more of his kind of classic look.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But there's also comics where Wolverine has got that costume on as well. The Wolverine kind of plays the... Oh, here we go, actually. So Wolverine has that costume as a costume at one point. So yeah, so it's cool. I'm glad that we've got him. But yeah, he's a cosmic character, like an extraterrestrial character.
Oh, okay.
But that is definitely a potential Werewolf by Night. I hadn't even thought about that one. So thank you very much. Who's next?
Another episode of Who the Hell Is This?
Oh, that's M, or what's her name? You stumped me now. It is M. But she goes by M. What's that? Right, I'm gonna have to Google it. Not because I don't know, but because I can't get past M now. Monet.
Just while you're looking it up, just let people know that Diamond Select Beta Ray Bill is currently at Disney Store for $18.86. That is a bargain.
Where's that?
Disney Store. Disney Store. Right. Got a Diamond Select sale on.
Oh, nice. Go have to look at it. Yeah, Monet, her name is. But goes by the name M as well. Okay. So that's the costume that they've gone for.
Okay.
She's just a bit thicker looking than I remember her in the comics. That's probably the best way I can put it. But that's the costume I would have preferred to have had her in, like the X-Men costume.
Yeah.
But yeah,
all these characters they're all getting a bit modern for me now.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? There's so many.
They're always going to move forward, aren't they?
Yeah, there's so many new characters in kind of, 2000s onwards that we haven't had figures of. It's nice that they're kind of visiting those. I mean, I like it. I like the fact that you look at everything so far, they're all new characters. They're all new figures. They're all new characters. And I've seen a lot of comments where I've posted about it on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, or Instagram, and people going like massively excited for it or massively disappointed. And it's kind of like, I get it. If you're not if you've not read any of the modern comics, then these are all characters that you might not have come across. But if you were introduced to the comics in 2000s onwards, then these are your staple
These are
characters.
X-Men.
These
Yeah,
are your
yeah.
people, aren't they? So
Mm.
yeah. So I think it's good. I think it's a strong wave so far.
And then I believe we got Cyclops' dad.
Yep. So this is one that's been like they've been looking for it for like they've been requesting it for ages. So this is from the Starjammers. Oh, I blanked. Starjammers is the team.
Mm.
Oh mate, see, this is why we need a live show, because when you blank, Corsar from Starjammers. There you go. I blanked for a second there. But yeah, he's a character that's been around for ages. He was actually in the X-Men animated series as well.
Really?
Yep, he was in a couple of episodes of that where Cyclops kind of meets his father and stuff like that. Hang on, let me see if I can.
Mm.
There you go. That.
Oh wow.
So you would have seen this character before.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. There he is with his boy. But yeah, he's part of the Starjammers, which is obviously a X-Men kind of team. Starjammers. And interestingly enough, actually, while we're on it, they teased something at the end, didn't they? The little things that they teased. And if you look, that's the little creature that they teased. And it's essentially the pet of the big guy at the back. I can never say it correctly. Ch'od, but basically CH''OD, I think it is. I always read it as chewed, but I think that's going to be the bath, to be honest with you, of the wave, because to have Corsar in the wave there, and then a big character, and to tease that little pet thing. I can't remember the name of it. But there are some other really cool characters in Starjammers. Let me just go back. So we won't go into detail, but there are some really funky looking characters in that team. I don't know how well you can see that.
A little bit, yeah.
But yeah, so I'm really excited if they do Chode as the Bath, and obviously Corsar comes in. It'll be a really cool team to kind of have on the shelf, and I'm really pleased that it's coming now when they're going to look good. Cyclops.
Yeah, of course we're gonna have Cyclops in the wave. And yeah, it's his classic. There's more of his modern classic look, isn't it? That costume.
Yeah. So they've done this costume before. In was it Toys R Us Jubilee wave? I think maybe.
Yeah, years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, was that Toys R Us wave where the big silvery guy came with him?
Strife.
All that. Strife was it that wave?
It was a really small wave. So Jubilee was the builder figure. You had Storm in her white and black costume with a mohawk. Yep. You had this Cyclops. You had Strife, Magneto. I think you had the red and purple Magneto for the family pack. And it was a Toys R Us exclusive, so it's quite hard to get over here. And this particular version of Cyclops still goes for quite a bit on the groups and stuff, because it's not been revisited, but now obviously it has. Yeah, I think they've done it justice. They've sculpted the interior lines on the costume, which I think is a real kind of plus. I'm not sure how I feel about the little bit of smoke coming off his visor. I mean, it's cool, but like even there, it looks like he's smoking a cigarette. Like it looks like he's holding, or look like he's like his fingers on fire, you know. So, I don't know. For me personally, I'd rather that they just kind of left Cyclops alone. And if they're gonna do these things, they need to be attachable and detachable.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't done visor detachable things before for him, though. To be honest, like You know, like just the visor should pull off and a new one should clip on with different effect pieces. That'd be awesome.
They've done it on one. They've done it on the white and blue one, the one with had the X across him, and you had one head that had the visor, the beam that you could plug in and take out. But then that head, you couldn't use that head unless you had the visor in because
had a massive
it's
hole
just
in it.
empty. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this one. I'm really excited. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether I'm overly excited about the costume or a little bit disappointed about the visor thing.
Yeah. And then what looks like we're getting a more or less a re-release, just on a new body, of course. New body, new costume. Don't get me wrong. Don't come for me in the comments. But judging on the face sculpt, it looks like the one we got from back in the day. And Toy Biz, look at the face.
You know what? There's two things that are really disappointing about this head sculpt. So the costume itself is based on what's his name? John Cassidy.
Okay.
I think it's John Cassidy's Astonishing X-Men look. The costume with the choker and the off the shoulder look.
Yeah, it's definitely astonishing.
But in that comic book run, she was depicted a lot of the time with like slicked back hair, which looked really smart in the comics. And when I saw this, I was like, you've not given us a slicked back hair, but also you've given us like a re-release of that rubbish head sculpt, like a modernized version of that head sculpt. And I think they even called it like her witchy look. And I was like, is she a witch? Like, I just like, is she? I don't know, really.
She was evil, and she constantly seduced Scott Summers.
Yeah.
She was quite a sultry character.
But yeah, I mean, there's things to like about this. For me personally, I think I'll probably swap that head sculpt out for one of the other ones that I've got because we've had quite a few Emma Frost head sculpts now, haven't we? I would like to hope that seeing this here like this, that there's a diamond version in the mix, because you could easily lose that cape and then change the flesh tone out for diamond and have like an exclusive version. Because it's something they haven't done. They've not done us a powered up Emma before, have they?
No, never.
So
they did back in the Toy Biz days, didn't they?
Oh yeah,
Toy Biz days, but not Legends.
Not the new Hasbro versions. I actually did a custom using nail varnish. Funny enough, it's like a glittery like Rimmel nail varnish, and when you put it on, it looks like kind of glitter glue. And I used it to paint a female figure, and the finish was brilliant. Like it worked so well. But yeah, I hope that we kind of get an official one. I just wish they had updated those heeled boots.
Yeah,
they're the worst when it comes to posing, and it's always a figure that's got a big cape or a big headpiece.
And they couldn't even stand her properly on the live stream, could they? You had to hold her up.
No one can.
It was like flipping the figure around.
Yeah, no one can. And they always come on figures that have got big hair or big capes, and it just kind of throws the weight distribution off. It's like the Hellfire box set. Can't stand them up for toffee. But yeah, I'm pleased that people are getting like a White Queen version of her because she was an exclusive to that box set. And it is a different look than the one that we had in the box set. So that was my phone. I was just having a look at the exact differences. She's up there. So the one that we got in the box set has got like a corset on as opposed to like the tube top look. And her cape has got the fur on the shoulders as well, as opposed to off the shoulders look. So they will look like two very different versions of her. But yeah, I'm pleased to get a white suited Emma Frost.
Again, I'm looking at it again. She's going to be a good figure on the shelf, but I need to swap the head off definitely. And maybe someone's going to have to donate some heels because they're awful.
Yeah. But I mean, there's so many like head sculpts you can use. I mean, I need to see the paint apps closer to see how.
My favorite one was the black Hellfire Queen version with the blue lipstick and the long blonde hair. That's one of my favorites.
That's a very good one, actually. Yeah.
I think that'll look good on this Emma Frost as well because it's the same sort of long-haired version.
Yep. Yep.
Might be just an easy win.
Yeah. No, I agree. I was just looking at my version there. Yeah. Yep. Totally agree with that. That would look really good. I'm just seeing how accessible. You know what? Funny enough, actually, looking at it, I can't reach it because it's down there behind the boxes and stuff. But the custom that I just told you I did is pretty much in the same outfit as what we just saw there. Because I used the Dazzler white open shirt,
Yeah.
but then swapped that out for a bare torso. So she's just got like almost like a top piece on, and then the bottom half is white. So yeah,
That's cool.
but that is a good stream. I enjoyed it. I thought they came through.
But there was some other toy news this week. Do you want to go through that as well?
Yeah. Just before we transition, while we're talking
Yeah.
about glittery figures, these arrived.
Go Power Rangers!
So I decided to go back into my Power Ranger setup, and I got Rocky and Adam and Alicia and Billy. I already had Tommy. Tommy's up there. But what I didn't notice is that Tommy's the only one that hasn't got a glittery topped box.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I did not notice that. But they're just really. I love the boxes. Like I don't know if you can see on the camera, but the glitter on the boxes as well just looks fantastic.
Nice.
But I really like these glittery versions, the like metallic versions. But the reason I wanted to bring it up is I don't know if you can really see in there, but the metallic, like the glittery metallic on the White Ranger would look incredible on a Emma Frost diamond version. So they can do it.
Yeah.
If they use this plastic on that figure, it would be amazing. Yeah. Sorry. Well, let's go on to the other news.
They look good. I'm looking forward to getting them. We'll stick with Power Rangers because it's the same team lineup you've just shown. Really got announced in a different costume today. The other day. Just wait for you to come back.
I'm here. I'm
We've
here.
got there we go. We've got the Alien Rangers coming out. So the
Yes.
Alien Rangers came after the Ninjetti, I believe, and they're like it's when Kimberly left at that point. So Kimberly's already gone, and she was replaced by that blonde-haired lady. I can never remember her name. But Tommy's still part of the lineup. But yeah, and then we've got the Alien Rangers. So they're an Amazon exclusive box set, but you get the whole team in a box set. So I mean, I like that idea. Yeah. I do like when they tease the idea of getting a whole team in one box.
Yeah,
that makes it much more easy. And it's like there's nothing worse than like yourself now, like waiting for that Kimberly to complete that line. Whereas
that's the thing is that the glittery Kimberly was a Pulse exclusive when it came out, but that came out ahead of all the other glittery ones. I'm saying glittery, they're called metallic, but you know what I mean. But yeah, so it came out ahead of it. So unless you were kind of a die-hard fan, like at the time, I was like, I don't need a metallic Kimberly and a standard Kimberly. Whereas now I'm kind of like, you know what, I've got all the metallic ones, but I can't get hold of that metallic Kimberly. Whereas if they'd done it in a box set like this, I would have snapped it up.
Yeah. So I think the box set's a great idea. I'm not sure. There's no price or anything announced yet, but this is going to be an Amazon exclusive when it comes out.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm surprised in a way they haven't done it for every team.
I think this might be the start, really. I think
it would be a really easy kind of cash grab to just release the whole team.
Oh, definitely. It would be. It's just such an easy win for them. Let me just get rid of those photos so I don't show those again.
No, SuperSorrell's holiday snaps. Don't need that one.
So another one of the Four Horsemen Figure Obscura figures got announced this week with a limited window of ordering. Santa Claus, of course. It's that time of the year, so they're giving us a Christmas holiday offering. Last year they gave us Krampus in black. Krampus is now readily available, by the way, in the UK at a couple of retailers in the red costume, the red version of Krampus. He's readily available and he's awesome. I've just ordered one.
Right.
Yeah, the Santa is the figure obscura one, so it'll come in a big box set like the Headless Horseman did. And he comes with a Christmas tree accessory. He comes with everything that you see on him there, and he also comes with a big staff as well, which is got like a wreath on it at the top, a long sort of like tree branch. It looks proper cool.
Nice.
And yeah, Robbo from the Fwoosh did a shot for them of that version of Santa fighting the Krampus, and he made a really good looking like Christmas shot. So I'm very tempted, but because I got the Horseman, I'm like, yeah, I can't really get the Santa as well.
Yeah, it's one of them ones that I always around Christmas time I always want to get a decent Santa figure, and then after Christmas I'm like, oh, I'll get one near Christmas, and then they release another version. Oh, I need to get a good Santa figure. But
well, with them ones that Big Bad Toy Store are doing, I'm hoping when they drop, a bunch of people in the UK are going to want to order some, and we can do like a bulk order or something. Make it cheaper. Yeah. Because that'd be a good way of doing it. Because they're gonna really be releasing the like little elves and everything that scale with the Santa. There's like evil looking elves and everything. They look awesome.
That's wicked.
You like that? You know the skin from Fortnite. You know the purple evil looking elf. Do you ever see it?
Yeah,
a purple elf with the green eyes and stuff. They basically made that. They used that style of costume to make the evil looking elf on that big bag for that big Bad Toy Store exclusive thing. And it just looks awesome. It was like an evil elf. My Krampus needs some evil elves.
Yeah.
McFarlane have made another Batman, because of course they have. Why would they not make Batman?
Yeah.
They love Batman. Last time we had Viking Batman, I believe it was, and now we've got Vampire Killing Batman. DC versus Vampires. DC versus Vampires Batman.
I actually got a McFarlane the other day.
What did you get? Nice.
Well, Ghost Rider needed a bike, and I must admit, as far as figures go, this it's really cool. Yeah. So this is the Bat Cycle. So if you fancy it, I think a lot. It's on offer a lot of places at the moment. I think for about 25 quid.
Nice.
It comes with a nice little stand as well that you can put on. I just put a picture out on Instagram tonight. But where this has got a thing, you can actually stand it. If you put a stand underneath it, like a wheelie position, and where the foot pegs are, Ghost Rider stands on it really nicely. So that was my kind of appeal. Is I was like, yeah, I'm going to put that on display like doing a wheelie. So, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the Batman. I've seen a lot of the McFarlane turning up in discount shops like B&M and stuff like that, and it's never a good sign, is it, when there's so many of something turning up in one place?
It's because they put them out far too often. There's far too many being flooded the market at once, and they're all Batman.
I must admit, when they did, what was it called before? Was it DC Universe that they used to do? Not McFarlane, but before that. And I used to collect them because I liked having Marvel on one side and DC on the other side. And they would put out few and far between that you could kind of stay on top of it and anticipate the next figure or the next kind of character. Whereas McFarlane just sort of seemed to be putting out so many Batman, I couldn't be a completionist with it. It's too much. But, you know, if you're a Batman fan, then it's great. But you could say the same about Wolverine or whatever.
We got a teaser this week from NECA as well, from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And the actor himself who played Keno, I want to say his name was. Is it Keno?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be having his own action figure as well in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. With his, it looks like they're going to do the bike as well from that sculpt. Look, they've got the bike there with the turtle with the pizza on the back and stuff.
Pizza delivery bike, isn't it?
Yeah, so that looks awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing more on that. But yeah,
that's a really cleverly put together shot, because the turtle is just blocking everything out. But
it's a great advertisement, is that?
Yeah, that is cool. I love it when they get like the actors involved. So when Hasbro got what's his name's brother involved with the Moon Knight figures and that. It's always cool when it kind of comes full circle like that.
I want them to do a Vanilla Ice figure so I can do the ninja rap scene.
They've got to. I'm so surprised they haven't. There must be something to do with licensing. There must be.
Definitely.
You would have thought that had been one of the first ones.
A new Indiana Jones Adventure Series figure has been announced. This is the I like the fact that they've called it the Club Obi-Wan variant, which is very weird. But Indiana Jones and it's going to be a Target exclusive this series, apparently.
Yep.
And yeah, this is one of the new figures announced.
That's
It was
as
leaked.
well. I don't know when to bring it back to Marvel. I think I mentioned this. Might have been on another stream somewhere, but do you remember the Riders Wolverine, and it came with that additional head?
That body.
It's Patch, isn't it? And he literally is in a tux with a white coat and a red flower.
Yep.
So it's perfect for a Patch custom if you're that way inclined. But
you just got to hope he's not too tall.
Yeah, that's the only thing. We were discussing the Indiana Jones trailer on last week's show, and I've not jumped on any of the Indiana Jones figures. I was kind of like, no, I'll wait. I'll step back and I'll wait, like I did with the Ghostbusters. But after seeing that trailer, I was like, I need an Indiana Jones figure. I need one now. So
yeah, I got the Indiana Jones figure pre-ordered a little while back. No. When did I do it? I did it after I did that big bulk pre-order thing. I grabbed one on Amazon.com, so they are still available.
Okay. Oh,
you can also get the Stranger Things figures from Amazon.com as well now.
Oh, really?
If you're interested, yeah, you can get Eddie, and he's $32.99 plus shipping, about a tenner, I think it was. So about 40 quid to own him, but they haven't released them outside of America, so
no,
which is a freaking shame because it's such a big program. Why would they only release things in America? Anyway,
well, no, to this point.
Next thing. Then this week, a bit closer to our time of recording, we had some releases from Star Wars. We had the 40th anniversary of Jedi, and they put out some vintage releases, which were released by fan sites, and I believe one of them was Bosk Bounty. Yeah. And this is the AT-ST and Chewbacca. Cool. Hope it stands this time.
Yeah.
The original one as a kid never stood.
Nope.
It always fell forward. But
surely they've approached that.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping so. But either way, it does look pretty cool. If you're into your vintage series, that's definitely got to be up there as one to grab. And then the last one for the vintage series, well, they announced two in keeping with that set. Obviously, to go with that, what else do you want? You want the Endor bunker for it to blow open. I
do love I love the diorama pieces that they do with the vintage line.
Yeah, they are really cool. And he comes with an Endor Rebel Commando with Scout Trooper disguise.
Yeah. It's just so cool. It makes me very jealous that we don't get more kind of display pieces.
So yeah, that was this week's toy news.
Yep. The only other thing I suppose that I've got to share is Diamond Select got the new Invincible figures, the Series 2. And I actually have them in hand, which is really exciting. So you got Robot. Which one's Robot? There we go. You got Robot and obviously Atom Eve as well. So that's the Series 2. You've got Omni-Man and Invincible in Wave 1. Wave 2 is Robot and Atom Eve. And then they've also announced what is going to be in Wave 3 and a exclusive as well. So I'm really excited to have those in hand. I'm going to be busting them open this week and doing a 5-minute figure review. But I'm a big fan of the Invincible show. I think it's awesome. Have you watched it?
I've not watched it yet. I need to sit down and watch it.
It's on Amazon Prime exclusive. It's just a lot of fun, and there's a lot of because it's obviously by Kirkman from Walking Dead. So there's a lot of voice talent from Walking Dead, but loads of voices that you'll recognize. But it's just a really cool take, bit more of a kind of a grown-up take on the superhero genre. But yeah, it's just, and there's something really cool about seeing a Superman-esque character rocking a mustache. Like it's just it's just cool. But it's good. It's good fun. But yeah, watch it because I guarantee you'll watch it. You'll be like, yeah, Jake, I need to get them figures as well now. Promise you. But yeah, that was about it for me.
That's it from me this week, to be honest. Not a lot else going on. It's been a bit of an early show. So obviously, at the time of recording, it's a bit earlier in the week. So some things may have come out in the meantime. That's massive news that we're not talking about right now. People are screaming in the comments. Yeah. So future self, calm them down. Thank you.
If it's you shouting in the comments, then that's gonna... but yeah, if anything does pop up between now and the time the show goes out, then we'll discuss it on the following week's show. But yeah, I think that's about it for this week. There isn't anything else for us to discuss at this point.
You know what the following week's show is going to be, right?
No.
It will be our Christmas show.
Really?
The following week's show, yeah. Because obviously we're not putting it. Well, this at the time. Oh, this is so meta now. So at the time of recording, we're on Wednesday the 7th. However, when this goes out on the 11th, the following week will be the 18th of December.
And then the week after that is Christmas Day.
It's Christmas Day itself. So our next show is our Christmas show.
So our next live show will be our Christmas show.
It's the Bring It Home show. Yeah.
There you go, our Christmas show. And then following that, we'll do our kind of end of year roundup kind of thing. Wow. When did we start?
Because the week after, if you think next week's show is the 18th, then after that, it's Christmas Day. The week after that's New Year's Day.
So we'll be going into our third calendar year of the show.
Yeah.
So obviously we've only been doing it like a year and a half, whatever, but it'll fall into the third calendar year. Wow, that's time. that's some commitment. Cool. All right, well, listen, we'll round it up there. We will see you all live next week for our Christmas show, apparently. It's not a live show, but we're learning things while we're on air. Yeah, so obviously thank you very much everyone that does watch. Apologies that we're not there this week properly live. Well, Sorrell was in the comments. Hello, Sorrell. But yeah, I do apologize that we're not there. I won't aim for it not to happen again. But I hope you've enjoyed the toy news. Look forward to kind of catching up with comments and stuff. And of course, as I said, as always, geekweekinreview.co.uk is all of the socials. If you don't follow any of us on your social media of choice, then you can check us out over there. But yeah, anything you want to add before you round up?
Next week, Super Santa's coming to town.
Super Santa. Oh, you're giving away the big.
I'm gonna sit here in full costume. I'm gonna sit here with the beard and everything on for the whole show.
That's amazing. Cool. I suppose we better get a Christmassy background for next week's show then, don't we? So cool. All right then. Well, thank you very much everyone for watching. As always, it's been our pleasure. Till then, keep it geek.